Before proceeding further with today's conference, I would like to highlight the objective of TORCH Incubation Center of ILMA University for Sustainable Business Incubation. ILMA University, from the platform of TORCH, that is Technology Office of Commercializable Research-Based Hedge, is taking numerous measures for exploring the young talent, providing them with appropriate funding, training, networking, and promotion. And in that pursuit, today, we all have gathered here to explore other perspectives for sustainable business incubation, like effective technology solutions, innovative revenue models, securing grants and sponsorships, specialized funding resources, and alternate funding resources, are how we can be able to effectively create mentor networks, effective programs and services that would be beneficial for the sustainable business incubation. And in the continuation, we are also trying to look at the corporate partnerships and how we can create an internal culture that could foster innovation and connection. He's an associate professor at software engineering and focal person of National Incubation Center at Mehran University of Engineering and Technology, Jamshoro, Pakistan. Dr. Qasim received his PhD in information security from Beijing University of Post and Telecommunications, China. He achieved Chinese government scholarship for his PhD. He was awarded the International Students Best Researcher Award in all over China from Ministry of Education, China, and the Best Research Student Award from Beijing University of Post and Telecommunications, Beijing, on account of his research contributions and performance. So we are really honored to have Dr. Qasim Ali Arain with us. Dr. Qasim Ali, we wholeheartedly welcome you on board. Thank you very much for sparing your time out of such a busy schedule.
Assalamu alaikum, Dr. Saab. Hope everyone is doing well. Sir, I couldn't listen you clearly what you have said so far. I think you have invited me for the talk, I think, because it was disconnected at that.
Oh, it's okay, sir. I have invited you.
Okay.
The floor is over to you, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I don't know what's the problem. There is so much disconnection. I don't know the problem is at my end or at your end. I don't know. But let's start with my speech or the presentation. Okay, sir, my screen is visible to everybody?
Yes, sir. We can see your screen.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Wahid, for inviting me as a keynote speaker. Thank you so much, Vice Chancellor of ILMA University and all the faculty members. And today I'm here to explain you or tell you about the role of business incubation in today's world. First of all, I would like to introduce myself. I'm Dr. Qasim, working as an associate professor in Department of Software Engineering, Mehran University of Engineering Technology, Jamshoro. Apart from that, I'm also the focal person of National Incubation Center, NEP, MUT Jamshoro. That is a venture of Pakistan Information Technology Board, Sindh government, and Mehran University. Apart from that, I'm also the focal person of National Freelancing Training Program at MUT Jamshoro. And so let's start with the topic. First of all, I would like to explain what the entrepreneurship is. An entrepreneur is a person who starts a new venture, taking initiative and risks associated with it, by creating something new to provide values to the customers. So first of all, what an entrepreneur is. An entrepreneur is a person who is going to bring a new idea to a market and is going to implement it and try to get some money from that particular idea, right? So entrepreneurship is a very not a new idea, but this is now getting very famous in Pakistan, because I know that this idea or entrepreneurship is a very general or very I mean, very powerful thing that all the countries who are, I mean, like USA, UK, or Canada, they already have adopted this particular thing or entrepreneurship, and they are getting a lot of, I mean, money and a lot of ideas from that particular, I mean, to say that entrepreneurship or like that. But in Pakistan, this thing is going to be started now, and now we are going to get the benefit from this particular idea. That is the main thing, right? So why it is important? I would like to tell you that entrepreneurship regions have better economies. That I already told you that 125% of higher employment growth, 58% higher wage growth, and 109% of higher productivity. Now see, I mean, let's suppose if you are doing a job, you might not be creating the job employment. You are just earning the money and you are just going to run your home. But if you are an entrepreneur, you are going to create jobs for the people, for your I mean to say the people around you, and for your country, for your region, so that most of the people, or most of the I mean to say that your country is going to get benefit from your ideas, right? So as the slide is going to tell you, the 125% higher employment growth if you are an entrepreneur, 58% higher wage growth, your salaries are much more higher, and 109% higher productivity, right? So this is the benefit of an entrepreneurship. Then I would like to move towards incubation. What the incubation is, I mean to say that incubation is a process which tends to be activated whenever there is a need to support entrepreneurs in developing their own businesses. And then apart from that, I would like to explain you the incubator also, the physical location where the incubation process takes place. Offers define the set of services like to individuals or to small companies. Now, I would like to give you an example of an incubation. Incubation is something like that the very small idea or very new idea that we need to make it more successful, right? That's what the incubation is. I mean, you have a very small idea, or you may call it as a very new idea, and now you want to make it big, or you want to implement it in an enterprise level. You have to incubate it, or you have to apply certain services over that particular idea, and then you have to make it more successful by incubating it, right? So what can be different side of services that can be offered to different individuals? I mean, they can incubate their idea, or different companies can incubate their ideas. I mean to say that in any incubation center, right? Now, moving towards the history of incubation or concept, I mean, how the incubation idea is going to be is going to be evolved from 1950 to 1970s. That is being began in the USA in 1959 when Joseph Mancuso opened the Batavia Industrial Center in Batavia. That was from the Wikipedia, that how the concept of incubation is begun in USA. Then from 1917 to 1980, expansion to the concept in the USA. Now, this era is towards the USA, that how USA has expanded this particular idea in their own region. Then from 1980 to 1990, that is an expansion to the UK and Europe. Now, how the incubation concept is being expanded in UK and Europe, that was the era between 1980 to 1990. And then from 1990 to 2010, we have spread to the rest of the world, right? So this is the basic history of the incubation, that how it is being evolved from the different countries, from the different regions, and how it is being evolved to the rest of the world from 1990 to 2010. Now, moving towards actually what the incubation is. Now, if you can see, the every letter of an incubation has its own meaning. The word incubation and every letter inside that particular incubation word has its own meaning. I mean, if I should start with I stands for innovation and entrepreneurship. N is how you are going to collaborate, network between the peoples, between the companies. C is for competitiveness. A stands U, understanding the rules. B, understanding buying. A stands for access to the resources. T stands for the technologies. O stands for the outreach, and R stands for the review. So this is the whole definition that is going to be that is going to be defined in a single word that is called as incubation, right? Now, what might be the incubator objectives? If you can see this particular diagram, we can see that there is the big gap between the industry and the academia. I used to tell to my students that actually in Pakistan, we are going to produce the graduates, we are going to produce the engineers, but they are not going to produce the better ideas. They are not going to give something good to the country. We just have the bookish knowledge, but actually we are not moving towards the entrepreneurships right now. With the help of government policies and all these things, we are moving towards them. The government is opening different sort of entrepreneurships or the incubation centers in different regions of the country. Like I already have told you that in Mehran University, we have national expansion plan of NICs, National Incubation Center. I think all of you know that there are 5 to 6, yes, there are 5 national incubation center in the whole country. But now, with the help of Punjab Information Technology Board, Sindh government, Punjab government, and government of Pakistan, they have planned to open the smaller version of these particular incubator center in the smaller cities of whole country. Like we have Hyderabad, we have Sakhar. I'm talking about Sindh. We have Karachi. Karachi already have National Incubation Center, but the rest of the Sindh, we are going to. Government of Pakistan is going to open these expansion plan of these particular incubation centers. Now, what is the advantage of that particular thing? The advantage is that I personally telling you that thing, that after the implementation of that particular project, nobody knows. Before that, I know that 10 to 20% people know about the incubation, what the incubation is. But now, after the implementation of this and how we are going to brand that particular thing into the whole university, into the neighboring university, students and people are going to know about what the incubation is, what the entrepreneurship is, and they are going to bring their ideas into that particular incubation center, and they want to learn the things that how we can implement our ideas, what type of advantages we are getting from this. Now, once they know about these things, whether they are not being admitted to that particular incubation center, but again, they would have an idea. We must not have to go towards the bookish knowledge. We have to implement our ideas in a true way by developing the solutions, by developing something that is productive to the country, right? So that's what I want to say, that in this particular slide, we are going to give you objectives of an incubator. The incubator is about people, processes, partnership, prosperity, and services. And what might be the tools that might be used when you are in the stage of incubation? You might be using the programmers. You might have different type of projects. You might have the property, infrastructure, and investment, right? So these are the things that we might know about now. Then next slide, know your market for the incubation. Now, first of all, you have to seek first to understand, then to be understood. What businesses are making money in the community? I would like to give you an example of Airlift. You know that, and Food Panda, right? What are these? These are the smaller businesses. These are the ideas. These were the ideas, but now they are famous enough. They are earning a lot of money from their ideas, right? If we talk about Kareem was also. I'm talking about the Pakistan. I'm not going out of Pakistan. I'm just considering, or I'm just my scope is Pakistan. That these were the ideas which were incubated at some time, right? Now they are at a label that they are earning money, and also providing different type of, employment to the other peoples, right? Now, what might be the business incubation? A comprehensive program of services targeted to accelerate the growth and success of startups and emerging firms. That's what you can call it as a business incubation. Your idea is being incubated, and then how it is going to how it is going to be implemented in the right way. This is what the business incubation is, right? Then another definition, the primary role of any incubator is to help new businesses, companies by providing resources, access to industry mentors, interacting with other entrepreneurs, and perhaps most importantly, patience capital to get through the survival stage. Most of the time, I would like to give you an example. I would like to give an example of the small babies who are just going to be born. If the baby is going to be born within 9 months, and that baby is coming to this world after the 9 months from the womb of her mother. But if she or he comes before that particular 9 months or 7 to 8 months, then what we need to do? We need to incubate that particular baby, because we need to provide the same environment that is being provided to the baby inside the womb of a mother, right? And if we are not going to provide that particular, I mean to say that environment to that particular baby out of her womb of her mother, then might be she cannot or he cannot survive inside this particular world. So for that reason, for 2 to 3 months or for 1 to 2 months, we have to provide them such environment so that they can survive and they can be the part of this particular mortal world, I mean to say that. So for that reason, the same concept is being applied to the incubation. I mean to say that ideas incubation. I mean, ideas are very weak at the very early stages. We need to incubate them. We need to mentor them. We need to help them that how they can be a successful ideas, right? Maybe at the initial stage, they are very much not so much attractive, but when we are going to make them, we are going to work on them, we are going to help them, we are going to mentor them, we are going to give them a legal advices and all these things, and after 6 months or 1 year, they might be the good startups, or they might be producing something very good which is beneficial for the country, for the region and all that, right? So there might be the 4 phases of the business incubation. I mean to say that pre-incubation, then we have the early stage, we have the classic incubation, and we might have the graduation. Now, I would like to explain the ingredients of each stage. There might be the 4 phases. In the pre-incubation, what might we have? The research support, training, and the business planning, right? In the early stage, what we might have, we have the advice, marketing, technical, legal, and accounting sort of things. Classic incubation might have the accommodation, funding access, and the network support. And when all these things are going to be happen, then the startup is being graduated and it is going to be in the market and selling its product or something like that. So marketing close to the support. Now, these are the 4 stages. These are the things that we need to follow when we are implementing any type of business incubation, right? Now, I would like to give you the little bit information regarding Mehran UET Jamshoro. We have the IEC Center in Mehran University, Innovation and Entrepreneur Center, that aims to create an opportunity for the students of MUTE to win the seed money incubation space and training from the leading entrepreneurs. Student startup business competition is one of the example of that, right? Then we might have the successful start of MUTE students. I mean, Ash Barrel Limited IC incubated startup winning 600,000 amount of money that is being supervised by Dr. Atiya Bakai, right? And then we have an Innovation and Entrepreneur Center has won the award of Best Promising Young Incubator 2019 by UBL Global. This was announced by the World Incubation Summit in Doha, Qatar in 2019. We might have IEC MUTE team participated in the launch of UDI project, Women in Entrepreneurship, led by PEP Foundation with support of US State Department. And a very famous startup of Mehran University is NanoClo. One of the Renew1 startup incubated at IEC Mehran UET has launched a revolutionary face mask with outstanding characteristics that was made in Pakistan. And I would like to tell you, and I'm proud to tell you that this mask is being used all around the world, in all around Pakistan, and it's a very good product in the market. And that is being founded by Dr. Zishan Khatri, that is the chairman of Textile Engineering Department. And these are the few other various IEC MUTE programs that are being going on inside Mehran UET. And now this is the just information regarding my own national incubation center that is in MUTE, and I am the focal person of that. We are already following the same model like NIC NIC Karachi or something like that, but NICs are going to follow or are going to incubate their ideas for 1 year, but we are going to make them for 6 months. I mean, our first cohort is being completed and they are just going to be graduated in 10 to 15 days, and our second launch pad is about to launch within 15 to 20 days, right? So these are the steps that how we are going to select the students. In the first cohort, we have received 400 applications, and then there are certain pitches for one first round, second round, and finally we have selected 10 startups, and these were the 10 paid startup, and every startup would be getting the money, I mean stipend, for whole 6 months. And we are providing the free space, we are providing the internet, we are providing the mentorship, we are providing all the legal assistance to all the startups which are being working inside Mehran University startups, Mehran University Incubation Center, that is being called as your NIC, right? But actually this is not an NIC, but NIC NEP, National Incubation Center National Expansion Plan. That is the that is the full name of that particular project. Now, these were the successful startups that has already been completed: Intensify, Altat, Smart Monitoring Solutions, RAS Enterprises, NanoCare, Fixie.pk, and we have the Aquatech, Sales Machina, Green Fabrics, Concilium, and Isa's Clothing. And these are these startups have already been done, and they have done a marvelous job at the end of their, at the end of the first cohort. So that's all from my side, and thank you so much for inviting me for the keynote speech. And that's all from my side, Dr. Wahid.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kasmil Yaring. It was really a wonderful insight for all of us to have listened to the various aspects that how we can lead and create.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the appreciation.
Really appreciate your efforts.